Okay, let's get right into it, because you are going to want to hear this. We're not just talking about another minor AI update today. No, this is different. Google has quietly dropped an entire arsenal of free AI tools, and frankly, they represent a massive turning point for how business gets done. So today, we're going to break them all down.
I want you to just look at this number for a second. 300 million. Just let that sink in. This single figure is what's reshaping the entire world of work as we know it. And it's exactly why the tools we're about to talk about are so incredibly important for your business right now.
So where does a number like that even come from? Well, it's from a pretty stunning report by Goldman Sachs. Now look, a number that big, it's a little terrifying, right? And for good reason. It signals a huge disruption is coming. But here's the thing you have to remember about disruption.
It always creates two sides. This isn't really a story about some unstoppable threat. It's actually a story about a strategic choice. And the tools we're going to explore today, they are what give you that choice. This makes this, right here, probably the single most important question your business is going to face.
So let's completely reframe this conversation. This isn't about what you might lose, it's about what you're about to gain. We're going to pivot away from the problem and focus entirely on the solution by thinking about these AI tools as a brand new, very real asset.
Let's just call your personal automation team. Seriously, think of it like hiring a whole crew of digital employees. They work 24/7, they never complain, they never ask for a raise, and their only job is to handle all those tedious, low-value tasks that just drain your team's time and energy. This frees you and your people up to focus on the big stuff: strategy, creativity, growth, the work that actually moves the needle.
Okay, so who exactly is on this new team? Let's take a little tour of your new arsenal. We're going to walk through some of the most game-changing tools Google has just unleashed, and we'll group them by how they can supercharge your business, starting right now. First on the list is a tool called Opal. And what's so wild about Opal is that it's not just an AI tool. It's an AI tool builder. It doesn't just do a task for you, it literally builds a custom app to do that task for you again and again, and you don't have to write a single line of code.
And the process is it's shockingly simple. You just describe what you want done in plain English. Something like, hey, take this link to an article and turn it into a 5-point email newsletter. That's it. Opal figures out the steps, builds the automation, and lets you test it. In less than a minute, you have a custom app you can use and share with your team. The speed is absolutely nuts.
Now let's shift gears and talk to the technical side of your business. So for all you developers, all you tech managers out there, you need to meet Jules. This is your new AI coding agent. The best way to think about Jules is as the perfect junior developer. The one you always wished you had. It handles all the annoying stuff that slows down your senior developers. It runs test suites, it literally hunts down and fixes bugs all by itself, it takes care of tedious version bumps, and it plugs right into your existing GitHub workflow. It is a massive force multiplier for your entire dev team.
So, we've covered automation and development. But what about the creative side? Let's talk about design. Meet Stitch, and this tool, wow. It isn't just an improvement to the design process, it basically blows up the old process entirely.
I mean, just look at this comparison. The old way to get a new app designed, we're talking months of back and forth, wireframing, endless meetings, and a huge budget. The new way with AI? It takes a single sentence. What used to be this giant barrier for new ideas and startups is now totally free and happens almost instantly.
And the list just keeps going. I mean, we haven't even really touched on things like Firebase Studio, which can build an entire full-stack application from a single prompt. We're talking front-end, back-end, database, the whole shebang. Or a tool called Flow, which is an AI copilot that helps you build entire multi-scene films, not just some random video clips. The scope of this stuff is just staggering.
So let's just zoom out for a minute. Let's pull away from the individual tools and talk about the huge business implication here. When you start combining all these capabilities, what you're really doing is changing the fundamental speed of innovation itself.
And here is the absolute key takeaway. The traditional barriers that have always stopped great ideas in their tracks, they're disappearing. The massive cost of development, the months and months needed just to build a prototype, the need for a whole team of hyper-specialized experts, those barriers have been completely vaporized. This timeline really says it all, doesn't it? The cycle from having a new idea to actually holding a working prototype used to be measured in months. Then, in the last few years, we were all excited to get it down to weeks.
With the tools in this new arsenal, we are now measuring that exact same cycle in minutes.
Which, of course, brings us right back to where we started, that critical choice. Because now that you've seen the kind of power that's available, the decision to adapt isn't just a good idea anymore. It's really a matter of survival.
And you know, believe it or not, we have barely scratched the surface here. We didn't even have time to talk about Career Dreamer for mapping out professional paths, or Music Effects for generating original scores, or Illuminate, a tool that can take a 100-page academic paper and turn it into a simple conversation. The list just goes on and on.
This isn't a theory. It's not something that's coming soon. The power to completely transform how your company operates, how it creates, how it competes, that power is quite literally in your hands, for free, right now.
You know, when a small, scrappy team can suddenly generate the output of a giant corporation just by using a few of these free tools, the old rules just don't apply anymore. The opportunity is there for the taking. So the only real question is, what are you going to do with it?
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. As you look at this new arsenal, from coding to app building to instant design, which one of these tools has the power to completely transform your job, your business, or maybe even your entire industry? That's the question you need to start asking yourself today.